Mimi nataka niwaambie, mniangalie macho vizuri. Tafuteni mtu ya kutishana naye, sio mimi. Hakuna vile nitaruhusu watu ambao ni wakora waendelee kunyanyasa wananchi wa Kenya. Hawa ni watu ambao ni maadui wa taifa letu la Kenya. Na mimi nataka niwahakikishie nyinyi, mlimpatia uwezo hawa watu wote ambao wanataka kutuzuia, mimi nitapambana na wao. Mimi nahitaji tu maombi yenu. Kwa sababu si mnajua nilipatiwa panga pale, nilipatiwa sword kubwa hivi. Kwani mnafikiri hiyo sword ni ya kukata mboga? Si ni ya kufyeka wakora hawa? Ndawafyeka kabisa. Kenya itasonga mbele.
They're afraid that time has run out. They know the government is extremely unpopular. They can't see anything in the horizon that they can do to reverse the fortunes of the government in 2027. They are speaking from a place of fear. It is only an animal that is afraid, that wants to attack people and threaten people, and it's showing its teeth, our claws. Oh, so we will do this, we will bring back 24 years. In which country? This is not 1980. This is not 1980. Ukianguka kura, unaanguka tu kura, unaenda nyumbani. Hakuna mahali utakatalia. Unakatalia wapi? This is not 2007, my friend. This is not 2007 where somebody can actually lose elections and impose themselves on the people. Ukianguka kura nyumbani. So mtu asitutishe hapa ati you will go and reinvent the 24-year presidency. There's nothing like that. The thing that guarantees re-election, as I have said, is you deliver on your promises, make the lives of Kenyans better. You will not have to fight with anybody. They will put you back in office. But for as long as you continue with the way in which you are continuing, talking to people the way you want, insulting the public, threatening the public, a public that is very well informed on its rights, threatening to violate the constitution, ignoring constitutional principles, this year, in fact, if I had spoken in Bungoma, I would advise the president, forget about roads, forget about railways. We need the software of this country to be reinstalled. That is the problem. It won't matter if you are telling us you are making us good roads so that our parents can zoom on those roads between police stations looking for their children and going to mortuaries. Then we don't need those roads. If the roads are for us to travel freely as we look amongst bodies in mortuaries to look for our young ones, our loved ones, we don't need those roads. What we need is, can you guarantee us the values in Article 10 will be respected by the government? Can you guarantee that the life of Kenyans will not be interfered with the way it is being interfered with? There are loved ones who spend Christmas without their kids. There are families that spend Christmas without their kids. So even if you tell that person that you have dualized Malaba to Mombasa, what are you telling that person? So that they can go and fetch their children from the quarries and the rivers. We don't want that. We want you to work on the software of the country. Please, let us respect the Constitution.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to listen to what Mutahi Ngunyi is telling William Ruto here. Very interesting and provoking a lot of mixed reactions, especially considering where we are as a country right now. So this is what Mutahi Ngunyi is saying. Dear Ruto, political science definition of the state. The man who controls the monopoly of violence controls the state. If you lose the monopoly, you have no state. Use the damn sword that we gave you to protect the state and defend the weak. This is how states are made. So Mutahi Ngunyi made this statement yesterday after the Sabasaba protests. And if you look at the way the political heated grounds have gang up against this statement of Mutahi Ngunyi, you will try to note one thing, especially how Mutahi has been coming on board to support William Ruto on one side and appear as if he is giving him some nuggets of wisdom, which of course in the eye of the public, those wisdoms, all right, that line of wisdom that is trying to direct to William Ruto is not auguring well with the people. And if you look at the conversation, the feedback and the reactions, this is the first time that Mutahi Ngunyi has met a match of its kind. Remember, it is William Ruto who once said that those who contradict him or those who are playing with his reign or governance are thinking that he was just given that sword, all right, to kata mboga, like kukata kabeji. In fact, the sequential happenings of one-on-one, interactions, one-on-one dealings with the political heated grounds, it has actually culminated into what we are seeing right now. They always say that words have powers, right? You use a word and you can actually possess, you can be exactly what you said. So perhaps what William Ruto preempted or predicted or said is actually coming into fruition. If you look at the way the feedback was streaming in against this Mutahi Ngunyi statement, you will love the way Kenyans actually reacted to him. If you look at Senator Mungare Okongo, okay, he was telling Mutahi Ngunyi is something very profound here. So he said, Mutahi Ngunyi's shallow invocation of the monopoly of violence doctrine exposes not just a dangerous misunderstanding of statecraft, but a reckless romanticization of force of governance. To advise the president to use the sword as the core meaning of state power is to reduce the state from a social contract to a mere machinery of coercion, an insult to the constitutionalism and democratic order. The state is not a thug staff to flex monopoly of violence. It is a moral and legal institution built on legitimacy, accountability, and consent. Max Weber's theory was descriptive, not prescriptive. It explained the modern state's historical evolution, not a license to rule by the blade. Governance by fear is tyranny. Leadership by justice is statesmanship. And he concluded by saying, such advice belongs in the dustbin of Machiavellian despotism, not in a modern democratic republic. That was very spot on. That was very straightforward. In fact, most of the times you look at how Mutahi Ngunyi is coming with his statement, you will be trying to look at him as that saying which always goes, like, panya inakuuma, lakini inakupuliza. You look at the criterion that Mutahi Ngunyi has taken to appear to be advising Ruto. This man, you can actually conclude that he is not for the better of William Ruto. The destruction that is causing, especially when he spews these statements, you can actually tell that he is not for William Ruto. And somebody was also trying to tell him that rulers own the country. Citizens must pay to live in it and must obey the rules set by the rulers. If you do not do those two things, the rulers punish you and may put you in jail using the rules they've created to run their country. You do, however, have the option to leave the country and go to another ruler's country with the same exact set of rules. The choice is yours. It's a free country. Wink, wink. So I think this reply was looking forward to just satirically, corroborate what William Ruto said sometimes back, that kama utaki, you can go home, get out of the country. You remember the mambo ni matatu? I think this reply is specifically attached to the mambo na matatu, context that William Ruto was saying. Of course, the last one was kwenda binguni or leave the second one was leave the country, So the choice, which of course is not in tandem with the ethical ground that we need to see with this government. Let me read this last reply, which was saying, this is how, Mutahi says, this is how states are made. We say, no, this is how states fall. And when the history of this moment is written, it won't celebrate those who called for more violence. It will remember those who called for courage, compassion, and constitutional clarity, even when it was hard. I think this is very straightforward as well, very spot on. And this is what we need to hear. At this time, you see what they have always said, that if anything ugly will hound William Ruto, then it will be what William Ruto has done, especially in these last 2 years that he has been in office, especially in the negative of dealing with the dissent, dealing with the Gen Zs, the mass killings and murders. This blood that has actually flown, if something is going to haunt him, then this is going to be the epicenter of the convergence of every anger crying in the wilderness, every anger crying in the atmospheric spheres. When it will start to rain, it will actually pour.